We appreciate y'all being here today. Excited about our opportunity to go on the road on Monday night and obviously play the #1 team in the country. We've played Stanford earlier in the year when I think they were #3, and they moved up to 1 after they had beaten us up in Canada. And now having to go on the road to a place where we're pretty familiar. I'm sure that Colonial Life Arena will be packed with Gamecock fans, and it's always a great atmosphere, and I'm sure it'll be standing room only on Monday night. We've grown accustomed to having some really tough battles with them. Obviously Dawn does a great job with them, and her kids are obviously playing at a really high level right now. We're probably playing a team that's playing as well as anywhere in the country right now. So we're going to have to be ready. We've got a couple days here to get ready for them, and I expect our kids to have great focus. Every game's not going to be perfect. You're just trying to win one at a time, y'all, in this league, and you take them as you can get them, and you give your opponent credit. And so we're 4-0, and having a chance again to go on the road. This has become a really competitive series, and we're going to have to play really well on Monday night for it to be that to continue. And I know our kids will be ready. I'm excited to see us play in that environment and in that ball game.
Start with Robbie.
Joe, you played a lot of these games against South Carolina, and y'all had some big ones, SEC tournament championships and games for championships and things like that. Y'all went down there last year and won a big one. What are you kind of telling the other girls about, kind of what to expect of that atmosphere and of a South Carolina team?
Just to expect that we got to play hard every minute. We have to finish plays out. We're going to have to talk more, communicate more, because it is going to be a loud gym, a loud arena. So we're probably not going to be able to hear as many plays like normally or whatever, but we'll have to communicate a lot better and just be ready to go out there and fight.
Joe, Robbie mentioned last year's game when you guys went in there and won. I don't think that had been done since 2010 for Mississippi State. What do you remember about that game specifically, and just kind of the emotions of finally getting over that hump and beating that team in that building?
I do remember it being pretty loud in there. It was really loud. I remember when we won, we was really excited because I believe we won the championship that night with that game. And then we went and won again in the tournament and just, won the SEC title outright. So there was a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, because we just knew we had to win that game to get done, so it wouldn't be no tie or anything like that. And we just went out there and fought and did what we had to do.
Brian next.
Jordan, when you go on the road in an environment like that and playing a top-ranked team, how important is confidence to you and your teammates?
I think confidence is super important, just to know that, we're going in there expecting to win and expecting to give it all, and even though it's a chaotic environment, that we still have to get our job done. But having confidence is very important.
Danny?
So it seems like you're driving to the basketball and getting some easy layups when you can win there. Is that just taking what the defense gives you, or do you make it a conscious effort to try to do that?
Yes, I'm always in attack mode, just trying to get to the rim, but I do take what the defense gives me, whether that's a layup or a kick out to one of my shooters.
Yeah. I guess kind of in that vein, Vic, you talked about last night how you wanted a few more, maybe a little more reliable shooters outside. Is that something that Joe's only taken about 3 3-pointers this year? Is that something that you see as maybe something you can add to your game, step out a little bit more, or do you just kind of work with that within that mid-range game, and kind of is that where you feel comfortable?
I work with both, but again, I take what the defense gives me, so I still feel like I can get by my defender and get to the rim. So Coach Schaefer says don't settle, so I just keep attacking until they can stop it.
Anything else for Joe? Alright, Joe, thank you for coming out.
Joe.
Appreciate it. Alright, we'll take questions for Vic. Then we'll go to Steve.
Vic, obviously y'all play in a packed house every most nights here as well. I know it's a hostile environment, but is there anything you guys can do in practice to simulate that? I mean, I know in football people beam in crowd noise. I don't know if there's anything like that, but is there anything you guys can do to simulate that, or what do you tell some of those younger players?
Yeah, no, I don't think we do that. I think, again, our kids, hey, let's be honest, some of our young kids are still getting used to playing in front of 8,000 here at home. And so, you know, I think the only way to really prepare for that is just to, you know, you have to experience it, to be honest with you. I think our veterans like Jordan, they understand it. You know, there'll be people in the crowd screaming at you, hollering at you. They may have personal things they're saying, and you wonder how they even know that about you, or, you know, that's anywhere. You know, that's just part of being on the road. And I think you just have to let it go in one ear and out the other. I mean, seems like when we go there, there's always some guy behind the bench that knows my history, and you know, he's got all the info about me, and he's constantly talking to me the entire game, and that's fine. You know, that's just that's part of college athletics, going on the road, and so in any case, it's you know, it's a challenge, and I think for young people trying to keep those emotions in check, that's the biggest challenge. And again, you don't want to. You're going in there playing against a heck of a team. You know, it wouldn't matter where you're playing them, but it obviously magnifies when you go on the road and play them in their home court. And the same's been true for them coming here. You know, it's been a great environment here, and I think that's what makes both of our programs so unique and special, is that we do have tremendous support at home, and it's a great environment, and it's a great environment for women's college basketball. So, you know, Dawn has done a tremendous job in developing her program, and just as we have, part of developing your program is developing your fan base, and her fans travel just like ours do, and so there's a lot of similarities, and tremendous respect for their program and for this team. I mean, you're talking about a team that's you know, scoring 93 points a game. I mean, they're offensively, they are a tremendous basketball team, and being led by a senior point guard who I have tremendous respect for. Had the privilege of coaching this summer, you know, on the Pan American team, and she actually was on my team that I had when the kids were trying to make the team, and so I have just so much respect for Ty and what she does for her team, and how she goes about her business. She's a pro, you know, and so we've recruited some of the kids that they have. Obviously, we lost them to them, but that's part of it. And so, you know, it's just one of those, you know, it's one of those things. You're going to go in there and have to play well against a really, really good team.
Steve.
Coach, South Carolina and Mississippi State the last few years have played not just for bragging rights, but for championships, national championships, conference championships. How much fun has that been, and what do you think that means for the league to have two teams played at that level?
Yeah, I think it's certainly been a challenge. I think it's been, you know, it's been a lot of fun to become important. You know, to have that be. I kind of wonder why we always play in the middle of January. You know, we're playing this game in the middle of January, and I know last year we played it in the middle of January, and then we played them twice. We had to play them at the end of the year. But it seems like we're always playing them really early. They actually asked us to play this game one year, the very first game of conference, and we didn't do it. But it has become a very competitive and tough rivalry. I mean, look, I think, you know, we've said it every time, you better be ready to play them. If you're not, and it's true in our league with anybody, if you're not ready to play in this league on any given night, you won't get beat, you'll get embarrassed. And I think we've got to go in there and be ready to play, but I think we will be. But it's been fun to be a part of a rivalry that's become meaningful. The thing about rivalries is it's hard to call something a rivalry if you don't win one every now and then. And we finally started winning one in this particular one. And so, you know, our kids, quite frankly, our kids will get up more and be more attentive for these games than some others that you might think. And so it's, you know, again, going against a great team, tremendous coaching staff. They'll be well prepared, and, you know, so will we.
Tyler?
Kind of touching on the rivalry too. Last year you took a really experienced team in there that knew, you know, what this game means. This year, obviously not exactly the case. So kind of a two-part question. What's the challenge in taking an inexperienced team in there, and then do you feel like they understand, you know, what the magnitude of this game is in terms of, you know, conference and all the other things that comes with it?
Yeah, so the answer to number two is no, I don't think we know. I think that, you know, until you experience it, whether you're here at home or on their turf, I just don't think you really understand what you're getting into until you experience that. And certainly we have some players that have experienced it, but we've got 7 that haven't. And so, you know, I think that, again, until you experience it, until you understand, you know, really become a part of it, it's hard to really wrap your head around it. And so, you know, anytime we take our team on the road, our young, inexperienced team, it's always a little bit of a challenge. I've been very pleased, though, with our focus at Georgia and Missouri. I was extremely proud of our starts and our focus early. So, you know, I'll be anxious to see us play. I think it's another opportunity for us to grow. And, you know, I'm excited about practice today. I think we'll have great focus. First part of the question.
I don't even remember what it was. I guess just what the challenge was in taking an inexperienced team.
Yeah, and I think you answered almost with that. The challenge is we are inexperienced, we are young, and you know, you think you're ready for it, and your confidence says, "Hey, I'm fine, I'm ready to go in there." And what happens sometimes is you take that young, inexperienced team in there on the road, and things kind of start getting, you know, just a little bit sideways, and that's when that veteran team will grab it and get everything back on track. That inexperienced young team, that's when you get sideways and you start sliding down the slippery slope and you can't get your traction back. And I think that's the challenge with any young and experienced team, is that you're able to do that. I know they've got some tremendous young players as well, but the one thing they have is that senior point guard and that senior 4 player, and in my mind, those are the 2 most important positions on your floor, and I think they provide real stability for that team. Again, having been able to be around Ty this summer, I know the presence that kid has on a court, and just her poise, and I know that just really brings a tremendous impact to that team, along with Harrigan. So, you know, we'll see. But I'm excited about our team, and I think our team will be, you know, we'll just have to really go in there and be solid with our game plan and try to stick to it the best we can.
Logan?
You got a top 10 matchup Monday night, national television. What does that do for the exposure of this program, and how does it help, you know, maybe in things like recruiting and things like that?
Well, we've been doing that for a while now, especially with this, you know, with South Carolina. So, you know, it really, there's a sense of pride for me knowing how hard we've worked to get to this point, and also a sense of pride for my university that we can have Mississippi State in prime time on national TV for the world to see. And anytime we can be a part of something like that and provide that exposure for our great university, you know, I'm really proud of that. And so, you know, again, I think it obviously kids across the country will be tuned in, and they can see that, and it allows them to see, when we're here at home, it allows them to see our crowd and our fan base and what it's like to play in the hump, and and when other people are in that game and on national TV, it allows them to see theirs. And so what I'm hoping that we'll show tremendous poise and great, great chemistry in that environment. And if we do that, we'll have a chance. But, if you don't play with poise and have a presence about you, on the road against number one in the country, it's going to be hard for you, I promise you. And so, that's our challenge. That's my challenge as a coach, to make sure I get them ready.
Go ahead, Ben.
Vic, obviously it was a physical matchup underneath with Jess last night, played 40 minutes. Are you kind of expecting kind of the same thing on Monday night with that?
No, I'm really not. I don't know. The answer is no, I'm not. We've got to find a way to give her a little bit of a blow and also get Yamaya and Promise some minutes. But those two they've got to kind of clean some things up in practice, and to allow me to have that confidence that we can put them in tight ball games where we know what we need to do. I thought Jessica was brilliant last night. She took charges. She competed down low for rebounds. She was just really special, and I think she went 6 for 9 from the field. So, that's a sophomore, y'all, that didn't she played in every game, I think, as a freshman, but she's now gone from being that player that maybe played 8 to 10 to 11 a night to now all of a sudden she's played 40 minutes in an SEC game. And so, I'm really pleased with her, proud of her. She's such a sweet kid. I love her to death. Yeah.
With Promise and Yamaya, what do you feel like is the next step for them? What do you feel like needs to get cleaned up for them?
Just the physical piece, I think. In this league, you better be physical down there. You can't be a finesse player, and you got to understand how to play with your body. Promise has such a tremendous frame. Yamaya has great length, but we're still teaching them how to play, with that. And I think that's our challenge. Promise has been out so long with her injury and redshirting, and Yamaya coming from junior college, this has been, as it is for most junior college players, no matter what the position, it's a little bit of a shock. And understanding how hard you have to play, and that we don't like it when you can't take plays off, you can't be soft, you have to be tough, you have to contest every shot, you have to battle for position every time. It's not okay to let your player get the rebound. It's just all those things, the accountability. And so, I think Yamaya's made tremendous improvement here in the last month. We've got to continue to get that from her.
Danny.
Coach, I know you started Andy last night. She responded with 10 points for you. From game to game, is those kind of moves just a good feeling for you, or how do you treat those?
Yeah, I think, again, it's hard to take Chloe off the floor because it really affects us rebounding-wise. We just had some things happening in the week leading up that made me make some adjustments. And, I think going forward, you could see some different lineups with us. We could go really big and have a really big lineup, 2 through 5. We could go small and everything in between. So, walking in here, y'all, I got Chloe out there like she does every day. She's out there shooting probably 500 shots. Katera's out there rebounding for her, and that's that kid. I mean, she wants it. She wants to be better, and just got to play a little better. Last night, but give the kid credit. She's back in the gym this morning.
Go to Logan.
Against LSU, the dribble drive, especially early on, led to some bounce passes for some wide open layups. What allowed that to be so successful last night?
Yeah, I think, again, it's matchups. I thought Aaliyah was really special off the bench. She just has that. She's got a little bit of a change of pace, and she's also really a physical guard when she penetrates. And she's got an uncanny act of creating some separation at the last minute that allows her, even at her size, to get it off. And so, you're right. I thought dribble drive early was really good. Dribble drive late was really bad. And so we'll watch that today on film, and we'll try to fix some of those issues. But you know, I think for us, we've got to continue to do what's worked for us and been good to us. At the same time, you know, we got to go in there and we've got to do some things defensively to try to deal with some of their offensive production. You know, I don't think we're going to go in there and win a 95-94 game. And so we've got to do some things defensively to try to, you know, and again, they're so good offensively. You know, it's a big challenge for us, no question.
You mentioned the rotation. In terms of that, is Rakia good to go? Do you expect her to be 100% going into Monday?
Yep.
Good, Tyler?
You mentioned earlier about veteran teams being able to take an adverse situation and kind of seize that and turn things in the right direction.
Yep.
Saw a little bit of that against Georgia. I know Georgia's
Yep.
not quite South Carolina, but they're still a tough team.
Yep.
And then you guys started the fourth quarter with an 8-0 run. How refreshing was it to see that? And do you think that's a step in the right direction?
No question, Tyler. That's certainly a step in the right direction, and it is good to see. You know, of everything that happened last night, everything we can sit here and talk about for the next 8 days, if we could just fix our free throw shooting issues, we'd be sitting here probably at 17-1, 18-1. What are we, 16-2? 16-2, that's 18, so we'd be 17-1. You know, and again, I just think it's an issue. You know, it could be we could be 18-0. I think we went 9 for, we were like 11 maybe for 21 or 22 against Stanford. So I mean, I just wish we could, you know, I want to see us improve and fix that issue. I think we're always going to be at the line and go to the line. So I'd like to see us really have some focus and some energy toward fixing our free throw issues. So, but you know, the Georgia game starting the fourth quarter certainly was a positive to see us be able to come out and execute. I think we executed 3 straight back-to-back sets and got good looks and knocked down shots.
Anything else? All right, we'll go one more to Robbie.
Just to kind of expound on what Danny was saying about Andy, what do you think was kind of keeping her on the bench and limiting her minutes? You know, she was starting last year, averaging over 20 minutes. I think she's averaging 14 coming in last night. What were some things that you felt like were keeping her there and wasn't allowing her to get on the court like she was last year?
Yeah, so it's just the makeup of our team is just completely different, Robbie, and you know, you know, probably for her right now, it's, you know, if she's going to be in there, then who's on the bench, Chloe or Rakia? Well, it's hard to put Rakia there because she's your second leading scorer and your second leading rebounder, and so then it's her and Chloe, and they both shoot it probably about the same, but Chloe rebounds it much better, and so and then Jordan, you know, and so that's kind of the three-headed monster that's right there in front of her. You can play her at 2 and 3, can't play her at 4. And whereas Chloe and Rakia, they kind of bounce back and forth, and basically we have 2 threes. And so, you know, that, and then, you know, some of our other kids they're playing well. You know, it depends day to day, but Jemiah and Aaliyah are both playing well, and I'd like to see Indy probably shoot it a little better than she has been. Shot it much better last year, but you know, just the dynamics of our team defensively. Last year you got 4 great defenders, both on ball and help. Sometimes you can cover up that 5th player that might not be as, you know, quick on the ball or be as good a denier or maybe isn't quite as good a helper. But now when you start throwing out there the team we have this year with so many new faces, you know, Maya and Jordan are pretty solid on the ball and pretty solid help defenders. But, you know, you got a freshman in Rakia, you got Chloe who's basically in her sophomore year, and then Jessica. And so you've got some different combinations out there that just, we're a different team, y'all. If y'all are smart enough to know, y'all been watching us now. We're not the same team we were last year or the year before or the year before. it's a different team. And so different teams require different strategies, different philosophies, and this team is, obviously, we've been good to date. This team is going to be tremendous down the line. It reminds me a lot of that first and second recruiting classes that we had, and where they were as youngsters and as freshmen, and where they developed into Final Four teams. And I think that's where this team, you know, is headed. But right now, you know, it is a different team, and so I'm not telling you guys anything different. And so doesn't mean we can't be good or great. We're just going to be different.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all for coming out.
Go Dogs.